How's it going, peeps? It is now time for the Raw results slash highlights and review video. I'll go over the results, some of the highlights in my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts, my review on the show. So it kicks off with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon coming out, and they pretty much go over the Hell in a Cell card, the matches, the World Heavyweight Championship match, John Cena's return, the WWE Championship match, CM Punk vs. Ryback and Paul Heyman inside Hell in a Cell. And then when they talk about the WWE Championship match, they talk about how the fans chose Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee because the fans trust Shawn Michaels. And then then Triple H says he trusts Shawn Michaels as well. He trusts Shawn Michaels, or actually he says he trusts Shawn Michaels because he respects Shawn Michaels more than anybody else in the WWE. And at that point, Big Show appears on Titantron. He's like, respect, you don't respect anybody. And he goes on about how Triple H, treats the employees, and he treats them with disdain. Triple H says he only treats Big Show like that because Big Show's a loser. He amounted to nothing, and he made millions of dollars, but he's now broke. And just while Triple H and Big Show are like having this exchange, Stephanie McMahon is like, everywhere trying to, turn off the Titantron, take the Big Show off the Titantron, and then she gets back in the ring, and she's like, alright, or actually, before that, Stephanie McMahon tells Big Show to shut up, but Big Show tells Stephanie McMahon to shut up, and then Stephanie McMahon says, well, we're gonna take you off right now, in 3, 2, 1, and then Big Show all of a sudden gets taken off the Titantron. And then they, want to introduce Dean Ambrose because he's in the first matchup on Raw tonight. It's Dean Ambrose versus Daniel Bryan, so he introduces Dean Ambrose, but instead Daniel Bryan comes out, and then there's a commercial break, and then once they're back, Dean Ambrose makes his entrance, and the match is on. It ends up being a pretty great matchup. I mean, no surprises there. Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. In the end of the matchup, Daniel Bryan goes for signature kicks, and when he goes for the last one, Ambrose counters it into a roll-up, and right away, Daniel Bryan counters that roll-up into the yes lock, and Dean Ambrose taps out. So Daniel Bryan wins the matchup. After that, CM Punk comes out on the stage with a microphone, just talks about his matchup with Paul Heyman and Ryback and how he's going to beat up Paul Heyman, and he says he's not even trying to win the match. He's not trying to make Paul Heyman tap out. And pretty much what he wants to do is he's going to put Ryback to sleep so that it can only be CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Anyways, after that, backstage you see Triple H and Stephanie McMahon along with Vickie Guerrero. Triple H tells Vickie that he brought her here because Brad Maddox couldn't be here, and she's going to be in charge of the little things and not to screw anything up. And then Stephanie and Triple H go into their office, or Stephanie's office, and then Shawn Michaels is there. He hugs Triple H while Stephanie McMahon is on the telephone or on her cell phone talking to somebody about how the Big Show got on the Titantron. And HBK, Triple H talk. Shawn Michaels asks Triple H if he really, doesn't want Daniel Bryan or doesn't think Daniel Bryan can be champion. Triple H says, no, it's not that. He can probably be champion, but it's just, him as the face of the WWE. We can't have that or whatever. And then Shawn Michaels says, they said the same thing about me, and they said the same thing about you. And eventually, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H tell Shawn Michaels, things have changed around here. And Shawn Michaels says he's noticed, and it's a shame. But thankfully, one of them can, not grow up. And he says he's going to go have some fun, and he leaves. And then afterwards, it was Santino Marella coming out with the Great Khali and Hornswoggle, and they're all dressed up as Elvis. And Santino faces off against Heath Slater of 3MB. Matchup ends when Heath Slater jumps from the top turnbuckle onto Santino. I guess he was trying to hit an axe handle from the top, but Santino Marella catches him with the cobra in midair, covers him, and gets the victory. After the matchup, he goes on to the announcer's table and says, there's one king of Memphis, and that's Jared the King Lawler. He tells him to get up on the announcer's table, so he does, and then Santino does a little bit of dancing as well as Khali and Hornswoggle, and that was it for the segment. After that, they showed the poll for the WWE 2K14 simulation of 30 years of WrestleMania. They had a poll on WWE.com where you could choose the match they would simulate on Raw, and the winning matchup was CM Punk versus The Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania. And the second top choice was The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. So they show simulation of the 3 years of WrestleMania mode, the matchup between CM Punk and The Undertaker. After that, Randy Orton comes out for a matchup against Dolph Ziggler. They also end up having a good matchup. Dolph Ziggler countered the RKO. Well, Randy was going to go for the RKO after his DDT, but Dolph Ziggler hit a dropkick out of nowhere. Randy kicked out though, and then Dolph Ziggler went for the zigzag on Randy, but Randy countered the zigzag, hit an RKO, covered him, and won the matchup. Afterwards, in a Divas match, it was AJ and Tamina versus the Bella Twins, and Nikki actually competed in this matchup. She got tagged in. And in the end, Brie Bella was the legal, diva, as well as AJ. She goes for a running knee on AJ, who's laying on the bottom rope, and the bottom and second rope. And AJ ducks, and Tamina kind of, tries to interfere or something. So instead, Tamina catches the knee to the head instead, and then AJ tries to roll up Brie Bella, but Brie Bella rolls out of it and then right away hits her facebuster finisher on AJ, covers her, and also wins the matchup. And then after that, they show a video of Del Rio's cross arm breaker. It's the same video they posted up on their W.com, or not .com, but their YouTube channel, just highlighting the cross arm breaker. After that, Renee Young interviewed Paul Heyman, and the promo Paul Heyman cut, he was just yelling the entire way through. But to sum it up, because it was a long promo or interview. Anyways, sum it up, he said that he's in control, just like he controlled CM Punk all those years, just like he controls this monster Ryback. And he says, I'm not locked in the cell with CM Punk. CM Punk is locked in the Hell in a Cell with me. And then Big E comes up to them, and that's when Renee leaves, and Big E says something along the lines like, who's the rookie now? And Ryback says, where's your manners? And then Paul Heyman, or Curtis Axel, Curtis Axel said something. I don't really recall what it was. But then Big E says, you want a match? Alright, you've got it. And then he heads into somewhere, I guess a locker room or something. And Paul Heyman tells Curtis Axel, or calms him down and tells him, you don't fight for free. And that was it for the segment. And then Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family make their way to the ring to face off against Kofi Kingston and The Miz. Actually, it's just, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper that face off against Kofi and The Miz while Bray Wyatt watches on. Towards the end, I actually thought Kofi and The Miz would win when Kofi hit Trouble in Paradise on Eric. I think it was Eric. Or was it? I think it was. Eric Rowan was on the apron, and Kofi Kingston hit Trouble in Paradise on him. But then afterwards, Luke Harper hit his clothesline on Kofi Kingston and won the match up. After the match, they take out Kofi, throw him out of the ring, and then they tie up The Miz onto the ropes. Bray Wyatt gets in the ring. He asks The Miz, do you believe in the creator, life after death? And pretty much he ends the promo by saying, follow the buzzards. Curtis Axel then came out with Paul Heyman and Ryback, and Big E Langston follows. He's supposed to be facing off against Curtis Axel in a one-on-one matchup, but Curtis Axel tries to clothesline him before the bell, but Big E Langston takes him down, and that's when Ryback also attacks Big E. They attack him on the inside, outside of the ring. Paul Heyman even grabs the kendo sticks and hits him in the back, and also Ryback hits him. And then CM Punk comes in for the save with a kendo stick. Paul Heyman runs away. CM Punk hits Curtis Axel and Ryback. And Vickie Guerrero then comes out and makes a tag team match. Big E Langston and CM Punk versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. In the end of the matchup, CM Punk takes out Ryback by clotheslining him out of the ring, and Big E Langston hits the big ending on Curtis Axel, covers him, and wins the matchup for his team. After the match, CM Punk looks at Paul Heyman. He then chases Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman runs off into the crowd. CM Punk runs after him, but Paul Heyman kind of gets way too far ahead. So CM Punk then, celebrates and poses with the fans, and that was it. R-Truth was then promoting the WWE shop, and gave a discount code, Truth, I believe that was the discount code. Anyways, afterwards, it was a tag team match. The Real Americans versus Tensai and Brodus Clay. And Tito Cesaro hit the big swing on Clay this time. Afterwards, he tagged in Jack Swagger, who locked down the Patriot Lock, and Brodus Clay tapped out, so the Real Americans win the matchup. After the match, Zeb Coulter gets on the microphone, which, by the way, he was on commentary during the matchup, and he was talking about, El Torito and how he attacked him from behind. And after the match, he introduces us to his new friend, and it's a bullwhip, and he whips it. And I guess it's for El Torito. They then announced and confirmed Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel at Hell in a Cell for the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be the Hell in a Cell kickoff. So, I was right with that match card prediction I posted up today. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Anyways, afterwards, they also show a video package for John Cena, hyping up John Cena's return. It showed, John Cena's first matchup with Kurt Angle and various other things. And afterwards, it was a number one contendership match for the tag team titles. It was actually the Usos, who are supposed to be getting a number one contendership matchup, versus the Shield, who are, of course, the former champions, and they're entitled to a rematch. So they're facing off to determine who's going to get a tag team title match at Hell in a Cell against Cody and Goldust. Cody and Goldust come out before the matchup, and they've got a new theme song. It's like a mix of Goldust theme song and Cody Rhodes theme song. They came out to the same song at the same time, and they were on commentary. Afterwards, Shield come out, and also the Usos for the matchup. Have a pretty good matchup. At some point, one of the Usos went for the body splash from the top turnbuckle, but Roman Reigns got his knees up. Roman Reigns also went for the spear, but missed it. And in the end, the match ends in a no contest or a disqualification. I think it was a no contest since no winner was announced because Dean Ambrose was just talking trash to Cody and Goldust the entire time while they were on commentary. So Cody got tired of it. He takes off his suit, takes off his headset, but actually Dean Ambrose pushed the headset off his head. And then him and Goldust started beating up Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins jumped in. And one of the Usos also jumped in. That's when, it was a no contest. And then eventually the Shield gets the advantage. And they're attacking Goldust in the ring. But then the Usos and Cody get back in the ring. And take out the Shield. Shield runs away through the crowd. And the Usos' music hits. And Cody and the Usos have a stare down. And that was it. Following that was the contract signing between Daniel Bryan and Randy. Triple H is out first with Stephanie McMahon, and then they Justin Roberts, introduces Randy. He introduces him as the face of the WWE. Comes out, and then Daniel Bryan comes out, and then Shawn Michaels introduces what am I even saying? Triple H introduces Shawn Michaels, not Shawn Michaels introduces Shawn Michaels. So yeah, HBK comes out. And they talk for a while, Randy talking to Daniel Bryan how he's going to beat him up. Actually, he gives him props for getting back up every single time Randy Orton beats him up and this and that. And Daniel Bryan tells, and Randy tells Daniel Bryan he can't beat him. And Daniel Bryan tells Randy, if it weren't for the Shield, if it weren't for the Authority, if it weren't for Triple H, I would be WWE Champion right now. They go back and forth for a while. Triple H also talks. Also, Shawn Michaels eventually talks. Shawn Michaels didn't talk at all until Triple H said Shawn Michaels should have never even trained you or something along those lines. And Shawn Michaels said, no, I don't regret training him. He's good. He's really good. And, he once again, he asked Triple H why he doesn't like Daniel Bryan. He told him, is it because after all of that you've put him through, he's prove you wrong? And Randy gets mad at Shawn Michaels. He tells Triple H, see, I know he has a vendetta against me. And Triple H tells Randy, he gets close to Shawn Michaels, face to face, and in a serious tone tells Randy while looking at Shawn Michaels that Shawn's gonna do what's right. Anyways, Randy signs the contract. Daniel Bryan signs the contract. And at some point, Triple H talks about, Daniel Bryan and why he thinks he shouldn't be the face of the company, this and that. He brings up Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho, and I don't remember. I think it was Edge, the third person. Edge, Chris Jericho, and Rob Van Dam. He says, let's face it, if any one of those guys was the face of the company, then we'd all be working for Ted Turner right now. But anyways, eventually, every contract signing has to end in some sort of fight, somebody getting put through a table or something. Somebody's got to get beat up, somebody's got to get taken down or knocked out. So, we see this truck on the Titantron right when, Randy wanted to fight, or Daniel Bryan wanted to fight. So Daniel Bryan takes the table away, pushes it away, and him and Randy are about to get into it. But that's when we hear this truck, and we see it on the Titantron. Somebody's driving a big-ass truck backstage, and at first I'm like, oh shit, is this Austin? But that doesn't make too much sense. Why would Austin get involved in this feud when Shawn Michaels is already involved, and he's a special guest referee? So Austin can't possibly get involved and be a special guest referee. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was Austin first. But no, it was actually Big Show driving the truck. And he gets to the stage, or next to the stage with the truck. Parks it, gets out of it. They're all looking at the Big Show, in the ring. And Big Show tells Randy to turn around. He signals, turn around. So Randy turns around, and also Triple H does too. But Randy, turns around, and Daniel Bryan hits him with the running high knee. And then Randy Orton Daniel Bryan stares down Triple H and starts chanting, yes, yes, yes. He gets out of the ring, goes to the truck, climbs up on top of the truck, starts chanting, yes, 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 with Big Show right there next to him. And that was it for the show. So, what did I think? Highlights? Probably the contract signing. That would probably be the highlights. In terms of just segments, I like the mentions of WCW and this and that. And, as far as matches go, the three matches I enjoy the most would be Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose. That was a great matchup. Dolph Ziggler versus Randy, another great matchup. And also the matchup between the Usos and the Shield. So pretty much it was like a good matchup for every single hour of Raw. As far as the other matches go, the Divas matchup, Santino versus Heath Slater, and what else was there? I don't know, but the other matches, really nothing stood out. Heath Slater versus Santino Marella, not a match I enjoyed. It was more so a comedy segment. I know it's a matchup, but it was more so like a comedy segment to me than a matchup. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. And by the way, I was right about the match card prediction video. I know I've said that already, but I felt like saying it again. So, feels good when you're right. Anyways, what was I even saying? Yeah, if you liked the video, you can click that like button. Tomorrow, I will be posting up Exposing the Glitchers episode. I think it's episode 6, so it's 1 week away from 2K14. Once 2K14 comes out, I will be posting up daily videos every single day, so make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And that's pretty much it. I'm out. See you guys.